The U.S. midterm elections are set for tomorrow, and election security officials are expressing concerns over threats to the nation's voting systems. And the task of protecting those systems has become increasingly more difficult. That's partly because millions of Americans embrace unfounded conspiracy theories about supposed election rigging. Election officials are watching for harassment, intimidation, and even physical violence at polling places and elections offices. And making matters worse, global rivals are expected to deepen disinformation efforts. With us now to discuss the state of misinformation and disinformation as U.S. elections draw near is Dr. Hee Kim, Assistant Professor of Communication at the University of Arizona. Dr. Kim, welcome to Forum Daily.
Thanks for having me.
Now, security officials are expressing concerns around these kind of threats becoming more complex. So, in what ways have these online threats evolved throughout the years?
Yeah, today misinformation comes in forms that are more appealing to people, yet are more difficult to be reviewed for its accuracy. So, first, more and more information is spreading in the forms of videos. So, these videos are more challenging to review than text based content. However, videos are more likely to be recalled, evoke emotion, and persuade people because they often come with attention grabbing images and sound. And relatedly, there are deep fakes, videos that have been manipulated to make false content look real, for instance. There are deep fakes of politicians and celebrities saying or doing things that they did not. And lastly, a lot of misinformation is produced not just in English, but also in Spanish or French, for instance. So misinformation is harder to detect when they are in subtitles, for instance.
Some very interesting and concerning information there, Doctor. Now, how do the different social media platforms stack up when it comes to fighting misinformation?
Yeah, great question. So, social media platforms such as Facebook Meta, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube have largely three policies to fight misinformation. Often, by working with third party fact checkers, they first suspend users who are known to spread misinformation extensively. And second, they also flag posts containing misinformation, including false information about how and when to vote, for instance. And third, social media platforms try to reduce the visibility of misinformation using algorithms before they go viral. The thing is that their plans for dealing with misinformation in this year's US midterm elections are not very different from their 2020 plans. And experts have noted that their 2020 plans were not thorough enough.
And to add to all of this, there's concerns around disinformation from foreign powers, including Russia and China. So, can you tell our viewers the difference between disinformation and misinformation, especially ahead of the elections?
Yes. Misinformation and disinformation are both false information, but they differ by intention. So, misinformation is false or misleading information that results from unintentional inaccuracy. However, disinformation is false information intentionally designed to mislead people.
All right. And so, in terms of the voters watching us right now, both in the US and Canada, how can they differentiate and protect themselves against consuming or spreading misinformation or disinformation, especially during election periods?
Yeah, first, we can pay attention to the source of the information, specifically if the source is legitimate and has a reputation for good journalism and accuracy. So, in case you're not sure, you can consult fact checkers like FactCheck.org or PolitiFact, among others, when you come across potentially false information. Second, we can watch out for provocative headlines. We can read a little further before believing or sharing a story, and especially look for supporting evidence in the story. Also, one pattern we see is that some misinformation stories are recycled, meaning that they are dated and they are not relevant anymore today. So look for that pattern. And finally, we need to check our own confirmation biases too. So, as humans, we like to readily believe information that's in line with our own views, while we tend to discount information that we do not agree with. So, we need to try to stay objective and look for facts.
Lots to consider there. Dr. Kim, thank you again for joining us today on Forum Daily.
Thanks again.
Stay with us. Forum Daily will be right back after a short break. And when we return, we're going to be taking a look at the major news stories and headlines from around the world. The UN's COP27 climate change conference begins. Peace talks continue between Ethiopia and Tigray. China's trade drops in October. Olive production declines in Spain. And Elon Musk threatens to permanently ban users from Twitter who impersonate others. So stay tuned. Forum Daily will be right back in a moment. Stay with us.